Thank you so much. Good evening. This is Jonathan Evans, City Manager for the City of Riviera Beach, serving as the agency administrator in the Emergency Operations Center here at our Public Works campus. Today's meeting is intended to provide a real-time update as to what's happening in your community specific to Hurricane Milton. The information that you'll hear is from a variety of our section chiefs. And section chiefs is a terminology that is utilized for the purposes of our incident command structure. We operate under a NIMS system, and this system is a system that is our National Incident Management System that is prescribed to all of us in municipal government concerning emergency and disaster responses. So the structure that you're seeing that we're in here in the city of Riviera Beach is very consistent and persistent in emergency applications and activations. And so the federal government deploys the same type of program in which we deploy. And so as the agency administrator, I have the opportunity to work with a lot of your folks that have other roles, whether it's police officers, whether it's fire chief, whether it's assistant fire chief, communications professionals, that get information real time from what's happening out in the field. And so this is an opportunity for you to hear what we're getting briefed from the county as well as the National Weather Service concerning the conditions in our community. And so I definitely want to get into more of the substance of the presentation. And so our Fire Chief, John Curd, who is our incident commander, is going to provide you an update with regards to what we're seeing out there in the community, but also what we're hearing from our partners at the National Weather Service and at Palm Beach County. And then you'll hear from other individuals, and then we will close the meeting with some final remarks from me, and then opening up for any additional questions that the public may have that we can provide some clarity with respect to this conversation. So with respect to that, I do want to open it up for Incident Commander and Fire Chief John Curd to give you an update. Chief?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Evans. And you are right. We are gathering information real time. Since we've started this call, we've already received several updates as it relates to Hurricane Milton. I want to focus in on Palm Beach County and what we're seeing, what we're going to expect to see, and kind of go over some of those watches and warnings that are in effect. As of right now, as we have been, there is currently a flood watch for all of South Florida through Thursday morning. We are also looking at a tropical storm warning, which encompasses Palm Beach County and all of South Florida. And those are really the only two watches and warnings that we're dealing with at this time. There is clearly a high surf advisory, but I don't want our residents to get lulled into a false sense of security. Oh, it's just a tropical storm warning and a flood watch. We have just seen within the last hour, the Hurricane Milton has actually tracked a little further south. So they've now included Okeechobee County, Indian River County, and St. Lucie County in a hurricane warning. Those are just two counties away. And we still have 24 to 36 hours before this storm impacts our area. So we are going to be watching it very closely. And we want our residents to understand that these storms are unpredictable and they should be making all of the necessary precautions as if this storm was going to make landfall over Palm Beach County. What we can see over the next 24 to 48 hours, first and foremost, let's discuss the wind. There are going to be times where we're going to experience damaging winds. That's going to apply for most of South Florida, including Palm Beach County. Those winds are going to start picking up throughout the day tomorrow, but we're going to see the majority of the deterioration in weather occur late Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. Those conditions are going to continue to deteriorate overnight, remain with us throughout the night and into Thursday morning. We are expected to see tropical storm force winds and periods of gust that can be at the upper level of tropical storm force wind strength, nearing Cat 1 strength. So right now we're expected to see sustained winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour, but we could see gusts upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour. There is not a significant concern as it relates to storm surge inundation, seeing as the storm is coming in from the west side, and we're not dealing with any particular or abnormal high tides. Storm surge has not been referenced, nor is it a concern for the southeastern portions of Florida and Palm Beach County. One of the biggest concerns we have, in addition to the rain or to the wind, is going to be rain. There's going to be a flash flood warning and potential for flash flooding for all of South Florida. This has already started. We've seen rain throughout the last 24 to 48 hours, and this rain is not even associated with the storm. Once this rain moves out throughout the evening tonight and into tomorrow morning, we will then see the impacts of rain from Hurricane Milton. And those impacts are expected to last throughout the day tomorrow into Thursday morning. And then we should start seeing conditions start to get better as we go through the day on Thursday. There always is a potential for tornadoes. There's actually been 2 tornado warnings in Southwest and West on the West Coast today. But all of South Florida should be vigilant as it relates to the possibility for tornadoes. And that timing is going to begin tonight and last again through Thursday morning. And one of the things that we are most concerned with on our beachfront is a marine warning, dangerous beach conditions, riptides, storm surge, and swells. And that'll be the timing of that is tonight through Friday. So as a result, our municipal beaches will be closed to swimmers tomorrow and Thursday due to the high surf warnings. To talk a little bit about some of the impacts as it relates to the winds, we will see tropical storm force winds impacting our area again beginning tomorrow afternoon and into the evening, and sustained winds in our area. They basically reference that there's a 70% chance that we will see tropical storm force sustained winds Wednesday night throughout the day on Thursday. On the high end, there is a 25% chance that we could see those tropical storm force winds that are approaching Cat 1 or Category 1 hurricane force winds in our area. So again, there's a 1 in 4 chance we could see those increased winds on the upper level of the tropical storm spectrum. As it relates to hurricane force winds, there's only about a 10% chance that we will see sustained hurricane force winds. Now, please listen to the verbiage. All of this was sustained. There will be gusts that will be on the upper level of tropical storm force winds, and there will be gusts that will be equivalent to a Category 1 and or possibly a Category 2 hurricane. But fortunately for us, those will just be in gusts. They're not expected to be sustained. Most likely time of arrival, we're looking at tomorrow evening. We should see this storm making landfall on the West Coast tomorrow night at 8 p.m., but we will start to feel the effects before that. Those outer bands pushing across the state. So tomorrow, we should start seeing after midday, weather starting to deteriorate, and then it getting progressively worse throughout the evening. This will make this a very challenging storm because it's referred to as a nighttime storm, meaning the majority of the impacts of this storm will occur overnight. So we really won't be able to get out and assess the situation and determine the magnitude of the impact until Thursday. And even Thursday morning will be difficult because we'll still be dealing with some of that weather. There are shelters that are opening in Palm Beach County. We have 4 shelters that are opened in Palm Beach County, including a pet-friendly shelter and a special needs shelter. You can go to our city's website. You can go to Palm Beach County's website, and or follow us on social media for information as it relates to those shelters, their locations, and what time they will be opening. I can tell you that the shelter nearest us is going to be Palm Beach Gardens High School. There is an evacuation order, a voluntary evacuation order for what we consider Zone A. Zone A would reference those trailers or prefabricated homes. So if you live in a trailer or prefabricated home, you should seriously consider looking to move to a shelter. And again, our closest shelter is going to be Palm Beach Gardens High School, but a full list of those shelters will be available through links on our website to Palm Beach County's Division of Emergency Management webpage. We also have been told by Palm Beach County that the bridges to all of the waterways, the intercoastal waterways in Palm Beach County have been locked in the down position. So if you know anybody or if you have a vessel that you are trying to get south of the storm, if it cannot clear the bridges, they will not be raising the bridges. And we also are aware of some of the other closings as it relates to schools being closed tomorrow and Thursday. We've also heard from Solid Waste Authority. Solid Waste Authority will remain open tomorrow, and crews will be performing their normally scheduled pickups, provided conditions remain safe. That 35-mile-an-hour sustained wind threshold is something that they will be looking at, but we anticipate regular pickups to occur tomorrow. The Solid Waste Authority will be closed on Thursday, so waste collection will be canceled for Thursday. So if you are one of those areas that are designated for Thursday pickup, please don't put your garbage cans out tomorrow expecting a Thursday pickup. And for those individuals who have pickups tomorrow, I would implore that once your trash is picked up, you immediately look to secure your waste bin onto your property so it doesn't become a flying projectile. The city of Riviera Beach has also been working on sandbags distribution, and our operations chief, Captain Glenn Meyer, will speak to that. But the city of Riviera Beach has activated its EOC. We will be in, as we're partially activated today, we will be in full activation tomorrow morning, beginning at 7:30, and remain fully activated until we can get our community past this weather event. So please know that we are here for you. Follow us on social media. Follow us or sign up for Code Red, which is our emergency alert notification system. Continue to monitor the weather stations and take, again, all of those necessary precautions that you would need for a weather event, including charging your batteries, making sure you have plenty of medications on hand. You will have a little bit of time tomorrow morning to make your final preparations, but once we get past the noon hour, conditions will deteriorate, and we will be asking our residents to stay off the road Wednesday evening, throughout the evening on Wednesday and Thursday morning, to minimize any potential dangers that can be caused by this storm. Also, I want to emphasize generator usage. Please be generator smart. Make sure your generators are in a well ventilated area. We don't want our generators inside the garage. We don't want them inside of our homes. Please be generator smart. We will continue to monitor this and provide periodic updates throughout the day tomorrow on what we are seeing. At this point in time, I'd like to turn the presentation over to Captain Glenn Meyer, who is serving as our operations section chief, to talk a little bit about what the city has done and will be doing. Captain Meyer?
Thank you, Chief. I would like to talk a little bit about the sand distribution site that we have in effect. So as most of the residents are aware, we are operating a sand distribution site at the Wells Recreation Center. And for those of you that do not know where that's located, it's at 2409 Avenue H West. So as we stated, we want to make sure that we are providing those services to our city residents. That facility will be open until 8 p.m. tonight. We're asking residents to utilize the 20th Street location that will take you to the back of the park. Law enforcement is present and will provide directions to you. And we will be opening again tomorrow morning at that site at 7:30. I just want to remind everyone and caution you that it is possible that we will have a reduction of supplies as folks come in and pick up those items. We do plan to be open until noon tomorrow, but there is a potential that we will close early depending on the supply. So we are encouraging you, if you do need sandbags, to come to that site. You must be a resident of the city of Riviera Beach and also have identification to show you are a resident. As we talked about previously, we talked about safety on the roadways, and Chief Curd reminded us of the times that we're discouraging you to be traveling as these conditions worsen. With that being said, be very aware when you're traveling the roadways of the city. Be mindful of other motorists because there may be an increase in traffic. We're asking you to just be very patient on the roadways. Take your time. Be extra vigilant of your surroundings. If you do encounter standing water, don't try to travel through that. You can always do a U-turn and find a different way to travel. So we're asking you to be very, very vigilant and diligent in your operations of motor vehicles. Chief Curd also.
Yes, sir, I'm still here. Does that conclude your briefing?
I think I might have muted him by accident.
Yes, I was disconnected temporarily. But as far as the trash collections, as Chief Curd pointed out and City Manager Evans, we do anticipate normal trash collections to occur tomorrow until it is safe to do so. Remember, we have tentatively scheduled normal collections to resume on Monday, October 14th, and recyclable and bulk material collections for Thursday have been canceled, and we will resume that on the next scheduled collection date. That information has been provided to the city website if there's additional concerns that are needed on that. I don't have anything additional at this time. I just want to commend the city staff and personnel that have been working the sandbag distribution sites and all city personnel that are working. And I want to thank the residents. Many of them gave us great praise and thanks, and we genuinely appreciate that. And we thank you for your patience. We understand that sometimes those lines are a little bit longer than we would like to have, but understand that your city is committed to providing the best services to you, and we appreciate your patience. And that concludes my discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Captain Meyer. Next to our planning section chief, Mr. Terrence Bailey, who's also our city engineer. Mr. Bailey?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. As mentioned, I'm the planning section chief, and the city manager indicated that we're running the National Incident Management System. This is a very specific and prescribed methodology that was delivered from the federal government to align all resources to deliver good outcomes for similarly situated incidents. Please, residents, know that your executive team is meeting almost every other hour, gathering information from multiple resources, whether it be the National weather system, the White House, the state of Florida, and Palm Beach County, synthesizing that information and presenting it here to you today in a one-stop shop as part of what we do here in the National Incident Management System. We in planning are continuing to work on the plan. Not only our current plan as outlined by the chief, as you just heard, but we've got multiple contingency plans in the works in the event that this storm wobbles, changes, or the situation changes on the fly. We are here to serve the community and serve each other. And with that, that is the planning report.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Now to go into logistics, Assistant Chief Keith Golden.
Good evening, everyone. The city of Riviera Beach was successful in securing sand from Eakins and CMEX. And to Captain Myers' point and Chief Kurt's point, we were able to stand up a pod or a point of distribution at Wells Gym. The goal of that was to deliver up to 10 sandbags per resident. However, due to the high demand, I just received a call that we will discontinue sandbag operations shortly as we have exhausted all of our supply. At this time, our most latest numbers are that we have delivered up to 5,000 bags to our residents. And that is all from logistics.
Thank you, Mr. Golden. Communication, Ms. Collins.
Hi. Hello. Yes, we're continuing to put out communications as we receive them from Chief Kurt, Mr. Evans, and the rest, and Captain Myers. You can follow us on social media on our Facebook page, the City of Riviera Beach. We're on Nextdoor, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, as well as Channel 18. We've been posting updates on there as well, and on the website. So if you have any additional questions, even if you send us a message via social media, we're trying our best to get back with everybody to answer their questions.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. And to just reiterate some of the things that have been communicated as part of this call, it is certainly the health, safety, and welfare of our community is priority number one, and we are committed to ensuring that we get through this storm together. Obviously, you know, as residents in the community, there's some things and obligations that you have that you need to secure your personal place of residence, and then the city will go ahead and resolve some of the issues that may be present as a result of this hurricane. This is a significantly large storm. We are seeing some movement in the storm, as Chief Kurd mentioned, to where the storm is not taking the northerly path that was anticipated earlier. So we can anticipate a little bit more of the inclement weather that will impact our region. One of the things we want to make sure is please do not drive through any standing water. It is critical that you stay away from flood-prone areas. Also, for folks that utilize electric scooters or even have electric vehicles, please do not go ahead and go through standing puddles of water. We did have an incident earlier whereby an individual utilized the scooter probably for the most of the day, went home, and then plugged the scooter in, and that resulted in a fire. And so one of the things we want to make sure is that you are conscientious of those types of things as you're out and about and traversing our community. The city does have free electric charging stations if you have a ChargePoint account. That's at the Riviera Beach Public Library, at the Riviera Beach Marina, as well as the Ocean Walk Mall. And so there is electric chargers that are available, assuming there is no one that's utilizing those. Also, the city has gone through the entire community and has checked our stormwater inlets, and also making sure that we put city apparatus on every piece of roadway throughout our community. So we are vigilantly checking through the community to make sure there's no trash, waste, and debris that's throughout the community that may become projectiles, and we will continue to do that through the duration of the event. Please note that once the weather conditions worsen and we get up to about 35 miles an hour of sustained winds, emergency personnel will be pulled off of the roads and will have to respond only in situations whereby it is safe for our first responders to be able to respond. And so please be conscientious of that. A lot of times what happens is individuals go out during a storm. They think it's a good period to go check out what's going on, and invariably that's where problematic situations occur. So please, let's ride the storm out together and let's be safe. Concerning our Emergency Operations Center has been fully activated as it relates to the team that you're talking to this evening, as early as Sunday, preparing for the storm event. We are going to move into a full activation that will occur at noontime tomorrow. Non-essential city services will be suspended effective tomorrow into Friday morning when we look to restore normal city operations. So if you do have any city business that needs to be conducted, our recommendation is you do so before noontime tomorrow. And so please make it a priority to come visit us and we can work with you. There will be no service disruptions concerning utilities. We will not be disconnecting any utility services through the duration of this emergency declaration. One of the things that I think is also very important to our residents, prescription refills, early prescription refills. Since there is a declaration that has been provided by the state of Florida, you can get some of your prescriptions refilled, and so please go ahead and do so. Also, another thing that's very important is ATMs, making sure that you get cash to be able to conduct commerce in the event that there is power disruptions. We can anticipate there may be some power flickering, but there may be also some power outage as a result of the weather that we can anticipate in the area. We have communicated that solid waste services will be impacted on your Thursday pickup days, with normal service restoring on Monday. And so again, as the chief mentioned, as well as Captain Meyer, if your trash is out and going to be collected tomorrow, please secure your cans, but there will not be no service that will be provided for those that have regular service pickup on Thursday. To reiterate the chief's earlier point about the evacuation edict for Zone A, that is for your manufactured homes and substandard construction and those that live in flood-prone areas. That has been provided by Palm Beach County. So that is the only evacuation notice that has been provided. Again, please make sure that you utilize all items at your disposal to find out information as to what's going on. The City of Riviera Beach website. The City of Riviera Beach website has a banner that has Hurricane Milton. In the event that there is any service or issues or things that you want to report to us that's happening in the community real time, you can go and click on that button that's on the city's website. It will take you through our Q alert system. That Q alert system, you'll put in the descriptive details, and that information goes directly to the emergency operations team, and then we dispatch the appropriate resources, assuming it is safe to be able to dispatch those resources. Also, our city's main phone number, 561-845-4000. At 5 p.m., that number gets switched to our call center. Our call center can also take information and provide that information to the Emergency Operations Center just by a call. So it doesn't matter what time of night that you see a situation or a circumstance, communicate to us, and we'll go ahead and look to address that. Also, we have staffed up our emergency operations teams, as well as public safety, both police and fire, and our utility operations. So we have more than adequate staff that can be able to respond in the event that there is an accident or an incident or a problem that arises in the community. One of the things also, and a lot of us find ourselves in this situation, please do not park on sidewalks, swales, or obstruct any of our drainage control structures. Those impact our ability to make sure that the water safely makes its way into the drainage system and then out to the appropriate retention and detention areas. And so please do not obstruct any of our infrastructure. And if there are issues that arise as a result of the storm, please make sure that there is communication. Throughout the duration of the event, if the conditions are safe, we will have more than adequate public safety presence that will be visually patrolling our community, as well as our infrastructure team assessing our community throughout the entire event. We will have strike teams that will be ready to be pushed out and clear roadways and remove debris. We know the ground is already saturated as a result of the rain conditions that we've had over the last couple of days, but your staff is prepared and ready to respond accordingly. And so we do want to thank the team and thank the elected officials for their leadership as a result of this particular activation. And as mentioned, we will get through this together. We all have our respective roles, and city staff is prepared to respond to whatever the situation and circumstance that may arise as a result of this. And definitely our thoughts and prayers are with those that are on the West Coast that are going to feel a lot more of the impact associated with this particular storm. And so, again, thank you all for taking the time to be on the call today. We really appreciate you getting information firsthand from city staff, and we will be scheduling subsequent calls even into part of the storm event to get provide you with real-time information concerning what city staff is doing and be able to address those concerns as quickly as possible and return to normal city operations. So at this particular point in the call, I do want to facilitate Ms. Collins opening up the line for persons to raise their hand and ask any question that they may have of myself and our folks in the Emergency Operations Center.
Awesome. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute or raise your hand and I can unmute you. Any residents on the call? Anybody have any questions? Yeah, give them some.
I just wanted to say thank you for this briefing. It's clear that the city is using the incident command system to manage this event in the safest way possible. And I appreciate your efforts and hope everybody stays safe. So thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Right. Well, definitely.
Okay, he said no questions.
Okay.
The other resident.
All right, great. Well, with that being said, we certainly appreciate people being on the call and certainly share this communication, and we will look to schedule subsequent calls in the next 24 to 48 hours. Thank you, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you.